Hello everybody, welcome back to our Let's Play of Dwarf Fortress Mineburied. This is our single layer challenge. So far things are going pretty well. We haven't had any attacks by any were-monsters or giant wolverines. When last we checked, we only had a barn owl. And apparently he's still around. Where are you, barn owl? He's just flying around, just hanging out. Doesn't look like any owl I've ever seen. Anyways, I guess I'll suspend my disbelief. So, in the last episode, we also got our farming area dug out. We have some space here for some nest boxes once we get to that. Right now, I don't even think we have any egg-laying animals. And we started digging down, and we've already found some galena, which could be worse. It could be a metal that's pretty useless. Could be better. You know, silver makes for decent weapons versus undead. And it has decent value, so you can definitely use it to make statues and other things for rooms where you're wanting to increase the wealth of that room, or the value of that room, specifically for nobles. And that's going to be something we're going to have to probably be very conscious of, because as you can see, we don't have unlimited space for growing here. We do have a pretty nice sized plot here, though. So moral of the story basically is we can't just overpower the demands of a noble by just making the room bigger. We're actually it's going to require some actual thought. You know, we can't just make a 10 by 10 room, slap a any old table, any old chair in there and say, "Hey, look, it's your grand dining room." No, we're going to have to try to do it I guess the right way and not cheese it. Alright, so we laid in some more bedrooms. So let's get these. That one was already done. Where are the ones that we didn't assign yet? Okay, so it looks like we've got almost everything. So there's three more beds coming in. So we'll get those assigned shortly. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. Okay, so we only need 4 more beds, but there's really no rush on making those 4 beds. The chances of the next migration wave being, you know, we have 1 plus 21. We have 21 free beds. I doubt that it will be that big. I mean, we haven't really created a whole lot of wealth just yet. So... Okay, let's see. So we were digging down. They're digging, good. Hoping to find maybe another metal. Maybe something a little bit... at this point, you know, what we would really like to see is a fuel metal, which we probably won't see. Or, you know, iron. Something that has iron in it. Then again, you know, it's probably pretty rare. Well, it's not really that rare, but I just have a feeling we're not going to see it. Alright, so what other workshops could we set up right now that we might feasibly need? A tanner. Yeah, a tanner. I'm just going to set up the tanner out here next to the butcher, because that makes all the sense in the world. And then we need to set up a stockpile inside for leather. So we can put it, say, we don't need a whole lot of space, but just like right there would be fine. And I don't know that we have anybody with tanning set up, but, well, not gonna be plumpers, is it? Hardly any. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna be Sparky. Sparky, you are our tanner. And then I think what we said we were going to do was we were going to put a wood furnace here, right? And then we were going to put an ashery, which we can't make an ashery yet because we don't have the buckets and blocks, so that's fine. And then what we can do is we can say, hey, it's right here, this is a wood stockpile. And we can also have a wood stockpile there. Or we could even change it. We could make that a bar and block stockpile instead of wood, since we have our wood right here. Kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. So let's go in here and change that. So we will disable wood, and we're going to enable bars and blocks. And we'll just do ash. I think that sounds good. But we're going to need somebody with wood burning enabled. Doesn't really, I don't know, plumpers, I guess. Probably plumpers. Maybe Grim. Yeah, we'll let Grim handle the wood burning. I don't think we're going to be, I don't know that we're going to be doing a lot of wood burning right off the bat. Our hope is, of course, you know, that we'll get a nice big fat migrant layer. Or, sorry, migrant wave. And it doesn't really matter if they come in with wood burning. We'll just pick somebody who doesn't really have a good skill, and we'll just change them over, or give them, you know, we'll add wood burning into it. Like somebody came in and they were like a beekeeper. We do plan on maybe keeping some bees at some point in time, but that's kind of like the nest boxes. That's something that you do down the road in your fortress. It's not something that's like mission critical. Whereas, you know, wood burning is very, very useful. You need it to start your reaction to make coke, and you also need it for, you need it to make potash to fertilize your fields, which really, really affects your yield that comes out of your field. So it's a pretty good idea to get on fertilization as early as you can. So our mason, we really haven't made anything with our mason yet. But maybe it's time to start. That will help get rid of some of these rocks that are just hanging out. What's still left out here? Probably the coke, I'm imagining. Thread. Yeah, thread and coke. That's all that's left. So we were thinking that we were going to do a smelter over here. And then next to the smelter, we're going to put coke. So we'll forbid that. Forbid those. And we're just... Coke and coal both fall into the same thing. So we're just going to put coal over there. Which means we need to turn somebody's furnace operating on. I wonder if Grim might not be the best one there too. It really doesn't matter, because I don't think that any of these 7 are going to be furnace operators, you know, down the road. But we'll go ahead and let plumpers handle it. You know, usually your first 7 end up being very, very specialized. You know, they're only jack of all trades right now because we don't have anybody else. And, you know, I'd like to get these things set up. I imagine we probably finished mining. It looks okay. So we did find some galena here. Nice. So why don't we go ahead and start mining out some of this galena. Just get it out of the earth. That way we can smelt it at some point in the near future. We could make some weapons with it. We could also make some statues, some coffers. You can make a lot of stuff out of silver. How are we looking on drinks? Pretty low. Pretty low on drinks. Maybe we should make some drinks. I'm I'm not too worried about the food. I don't know if we have any barrels. Might need to get a stonemasons or a craftsdwarfs. Yeah, we don't have that set up yet either. So we can put a craftsdwarfs, say, back here for rock pots. It's typically what I like to store everything in, is rock pots, because, you know, rock is an almost infinite resource, whereas wood is most certainly not. Well, it kind of is. I mean, on a long enough, you know, length of time, sure, but rock is just everywhere. So, and we'll do a stone stockpile around it. Throw out the economic stone and the clay and the metal ore. And then we'll need a stockpile for the rock pots, which are considered furniture. A good place for the rock pots might actually be right here in this this stockpile. It's kind of a halfway point. So we're just going to go through here. Actually, what we'll do is we will forbid everything and then re-enable it. Do we have a stone crafter? I don't know that we do. I'm betting our mason is probably going to be the best stone crafter. Craftsdwarf, yeah. Okay. Enable that on Mr. Grimm. Mr., right? Or is it Mrs.? No, it's a Mr. Grimm's a Mr. Got three guys, 4 gals. Bresden, Grimm, and Gulgnock are male dwarves. Giraffa, Plumper, Shelley, and Sparky are all female. Oh, we got migrants. We got migrants. Come on in, guys. Come on in. What are you guys doing out there? Just nothing? Just hanging out? You look kind of cool. What are you? Competent Marksdwarf. I like the sound of that. And he's got wound dressing. Are there any more? Or is that it? Might be it. Okay. Alright, let's pop over here to Therapist, read our dwarves. We got 4. It only reads 3. Maybe it's I think I've have it set up to hide the children. So we must have got a child. So we've got Mebzith Giganlacot, the farmer, who also has gelding. So it really doesn't have farming, it's just farming by proxy. Gelding, pressing, butchery. Okay, so we can turn butchery off on Plumpers. Sure, Plumpers is pretty happy about that. Then we have a suturer, so basically a doctor. So we can turn those 2 things off on Bresden, and Rith will handle that. Also a decent fisher. Okay, cool. And then Stoder Teleshkal, another farmer with actual farming skill and plant gathering. And beekeeping, a little bit of beekeeping. And military ability. Rith has some military ability. So Marksdwarf, shield and armor user, dodger, and discipline. Good. Good. Okay, so we're gonna need to add some jobs to some of these people. Mebzith. Well, Mebzith, how would you be with tanning? Not very good. Okay. So who's our wood burner right now is Grimm, but Grimm's gonna be really busy. So let's see who would be a good wood burner out of these. None of them. None of them would be a very good wood burner. Fantastic. Well, Rith would be the best out of the bunch, so we'll give it to Rith. What about furnace operation? Okay. So Stoder. And then gem cutting. Any gem cutters here? Okay. So the same person that we have wood burning assigned to could be a gem cutter. We won't be doing a ton of wood burning here. So it'll be fine. We'll probably end up getting a gem cutter or even a wood burner later down the road. What about stone crafting? Well, let's give that to Mebzith. Congratulations, Mebzith. You're now a stone crafter. I think that's pretty good for now. Yeah, we got one kid. Is this set up? No, it's not set up. Okay, but soon. Soon. Okay, there they go. Needs architecture. So our architect must be held up doing something. Architect is Plumbers, who is currently not doing anything. So I'm sure Plumbers has some kind of a reason to be shirking the duties. So I won't hold it against Plumbers. Are we brewing any drinks? I think so. Who's our brewer? Maybe that's the problem. Who is the brewer here? Shelly. And Shelly's on break, but she's also a miner. So we might have to turn off mining on Shelly at the moment to get her to brew. Brewing is definitely higher priority than mining at this point. What the hell are you doing? Fishing. Yeah, I guess that's fun. Alright, looks like our... Well, they're moving the stone in there. Okay. Come on, Plumpers. Ah, item storing. That's fine. It's not like we really need those just like right now anyways. Oh, I don't think I ever designated this as a dining room, did I? Well, we can't make it too much bigger. I mean, that's another reason to have drawers, is because it makes it a lot easier to size your rooms. Yeah, I'll go ahead and assign this as a meeting hall. And the reason I did that is to get that kid to come inside, because they gravitate towards meeting halls. They always hang out in there with their pets. So did we get all that mined out? We did. Okay, cool. Looks like we got some gems to get out here. Cool. Alright, let's go down to the next layer. Kind of mine around a little bit down here too. So it looks like this rock layer is going to have, well, at first blush, we haven't really mined, you know, very far to the north. There's a lot of space up there to the north. Not so much to the east or west, but there's a possibility there could be something different to the north. But right now it looks like we're just going to have that galena. That's okay. Like I said, there are much, much worse metals to find right off the bat. So they didn't bring anything with them, but we probably should pasture the cat in the food stockpile like we normally do, just to keep vermin away. Actually, let's just pasture the cat in this whole area. Just the whole area, we're gonna put the cat in there. Cause I feel kind of bad just giving the cat just like this small space. You know, the cat should be able to, you know, roam a little bit free. Can you guys tell I'm a cat owner in real life? Yeah. Well, least the mechanisms are going pretty well. Okay, is this done? It is done. Good. Okay. So I want to get some rock pots, right? So let's get 10 rock pots. Sounds like a good start. Okay, so we do have some drinks rolling. We can probably cancel this now. Turn off the repeat. And once that finishes, it's good. I know that we were getting kind of low. You know, once we start kind of flirting with single digits, even in the early game, I get a little nervous because, you know, things can happen. Like you guys saw, it took a while for us to get this up and running. If we hadn't had the barrels, you know, to put the stuff in, the empty barrels, it could have been a little dicey. I mean, we'd have made it. I have no doubt we'd have made it, but, you know, it's not like when they don't have booze, they immediately start going in a tantrum spiral or anything. It just, when the dwarves don't have booze, they work slower, they move slower. So, and yeah, they do get a foul mood out of it. Whoa, what's that? A coati. Overcome by terror. What's got you scared? Emus. Ooh, cool. Do coatis steal things? I'm not sure if they're one of the ones kind of like the Kias that steal things. Fucking Kias. Kias, man. Looks like the dog. Wait a second. Did the coati just kill the dog? Well, an emu's dead. The coati is fighting. Nah, it looks like the coati did not, didn't win that, so I guess the coati's gonna die. Dogs for the win, guys. Dogs for the win. They'll take care of your business. Alright, well, I guess we'll put a cut in there, and in our next video, I was hoping the migrant wave would be a little bit bigger, because since we only got 3 more people that can do anything, it limits us a little bit. Like, I really don't want to get too much going on. There's a lot of things that I would like to do. I mean, I would like to start, making coke. I would like to start making potash. I would like to start cutting gems, but as I've mentioned in previous videos, if you overload your dwarves with things to do, then nothing's going to get hauled around, and then the next thing you know, you look over here at your farm and you've got plump helmets that are withered in the field, and you've just basically wasted plump helmet spawn because you're not going to get anything out of that. So it is pretty important to have some like fluid dwarves, if that makes any sense, that can just bounce between different menial tasks. And the way to do that is by not overloading your fortress with things to do. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, game on.